What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are enjoying these tattoo series videos that I'm coming up with on my journey and experience of my first tattoo on one of the most painful spots on the body, which is the ribs. So right now I'm just going to talk to you guys about what hurt the most on the ribs for me getting my first tattoo. First, let me say that for me, I have a low pain tolerance for pain. I don't like pain. But for this first tattoo that I got on my ribs, I was able to do it. And my advice to you, if you're getting a rib tattoo as your first tattoo, don't take a bunch of breaks. I took 2 breaks. One break was for both of us, me and the tattoo artist, to use the bathroom. And the second break was when he finished the full tattoo. And then all we had to do left was put in the white highlights. So those were the only 2 breaks. So the kind of time frame we're talking about here is I got to the shop at around 2 o'clock and I walked out of the shop at around 7 o'clock. And it could have been even before that. I could have been out of there at like around 6 o'clock, but we were chatting for a little while and trying to pick a font. He used some of the time to draw up a font for me of his own work, and we ended up going with that. It took a little while for him to set up all of his equipment, and I said the reason why in a previous video of us talking beforehand and him pushing the tattoo back a little bit. He had to go do some wedding stuff for his own wedding, so I was very not angry with him about him going to do that, him and his wife going to figure that stuff out, because that is an important step in the marriage thing. So I can't take that away from anybody or be upset with him that he had to go do that before my tattoo. But I did make sure that he was fully ready and prepared for my tattoo, especially it being my first tattoo. So if you're brand new to tattooing and a tattoo virgin, that might be a red flag for you based on what tattoo artist you're going to. Like, if he's not ready for you or she's not ready for you, and you walk in there and it's real dirty, you see a bunch of other stuff that I said in previous videos, then that might be a big red flag for you. You need to walk back out that door and find another tattoo shop or tattoo artist. But going back to what hurt the most for my very first tattoo on my ribs, there's 2 different parts to this. I'm gonna leave the outline and the shading on the next video. And this video, I'm going to basically tell you the 3 main areas of what hurt the most for me in this tattoo. And that was the top of the tattoo, right underneath my armpit, the midsection where most of my rib cage bones are, and then at the very bottom where my hip is, to where like a good chunk of meat is, and your hip bone, obviously. But those 3 spots for me hurt the most, and I'll go a little further in detail in a second with those. But I think people saying the ribs are the most painful area to get, one of the most painful areas to get tattooed in, they are correct, but it depends on which section of the ribs you're getting your tattoo, if that makes sense. And it depends on the angle and curvature of the tattoo, on which bones are being hit in the tattoo and which areas of meat and skin are being hit in the tattoo. So that I will say that to give you some advice there. So it does depend on which part and location of your ribs you're getting it on, your tattoo, obviously. But for me, I got my tattoo going straight down, like in a very vertical kind of setup. It is a name, it's 5 letters, it's big, it goes from my lower armpit all the way down to my hip. But the 3 parts that hurt for me the most, I'll start with the top, right underneath my armpit right here, where there's a good amount of nerves, skin. That kind of hurt the most just because it was a very fragile area. The next part is that mixed section, but further back onto my actual back, like going this way towards my actual back because there's a lot of skin right there too as well. So that hurt a good amount. And again, the last part where my bottom hip, or not bottom hip, but where my hip bone actually is, because there's some meat right there as well. So that hurt a good amount too. Right now, I can tell you that my tattoo is done and finished. I have Saniderm on it right now, and I have another 24 hours to leave that on. But it doesn't hurt at all. It didn't hurt when I got home. It didn't hurt when I was sleeping. I slept on my right side and left my tattoo alone. Don't sleep on your tattoo. I put another or 2 extra blankets and a towel down just in case any of the plasma and blood leaked out. So you don't want to get that stuff on your bed or on your sheets. So be careful with that. Especially if you just have saran wrap and you don't use Saniderm. But yeah, those were the 3 main spots that hurt for me the most on this tattoo. It was bearable. Again, I'm a low pain tolerance guy, like I said earlier and in a previous video as well. But I was able to get this tattoo done. Like it's doable. And this was my first tattoo on one of the most painful areas of the body. So you can do it if you're thinking about it, even if you have a low pain tolerance like me. I explain even the women thing of them having higher pain tolerances dealing with birth and the period thing every month. So I explain that as well. And a lot of tattoo artists will agree with that they've had a bunch of big guys come into their shop and they're sissies about getting tattoos and stuff like that. But that's another story. So those were the 3 main spots that hurt for me the most. Another little annoying part about it, that isn't annoying for the tattoo, but it's annoying like the drag of the needle. Like when it's a long dragged out tattoo needle kind of put down, like the tattoo artist goes in, drags it down, and a little bit of that is part of the shading that I'll explain in the next video. But that was another thing that was just like that annoying pain that, all right, let up for a little bit, let up for a little bit. You're saying that in your head. But it's bearable. You can do it. I did it. I have a very low pain tolerance. I don't like pain, so I got it done in a few hours and I was up and out of there. So again, if you're thinking about it, don't take a bunch of breaks. Just get it done. And my wife actually gave me that advice because she got hers done too a couple months ago. So I was prepared in what I was about to head into. So that's why I'm speaking to you guys, so that you guys, if you're thinking about a rib tattoo or your first tattoo being on your ribs, excuse me, then you'll know what to expect and what to bring with you and what you should do, how you should take care of it afterwards, and blah, blah, blah. So I think I'm gonna leave you guys right there with that. We'll head on to the next video of what hurt worse, the outline or the shading. So thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. Make sure you click on to that next video of outlining versus shading. And I will see you guys in that video. Take care. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.